Hi, I'm Nate Charles, and welcome back to the Rule of Law Brief. Just a quick message for you today. We're going to continue with our countdown to America's 250th anniversary later this week. Today, I want to address the situation with Iran and specifically the supposed peace deal that President Trump says he's achieved. The most important point of this video is quite simple. There is no peace deal, and this is not even speculative. I'll explain. People telling you that this deal is wonderful are getting ahead of the facts. People telling you that this deal is terrible are doing the same thing. We don't know the terms of this supposed deal because no terms have been released. And that is extraordinary. In fact, it is unprecedented. When two belligerent nations end a conflict, the terms of peace are almost always public. They're important not only to the countries involved, but to regional stability and global security. Now, against that backdrop, if the terms are secret, that raises a very obvious question. Is there actually a peace agreement at all? And in this case, we can actually be quite sure that there isn't. Set aside the non-public aspects of this quote-unquote deal for just a minute and take President Trump at his word, which admittedly has the value of rice paper in a rainstorm. Even if you believe what Trump has said about this quote-unquote deal, the central issue of the conflict, Iran's nuclear program, has not been resolved. We know that. All of the questions pertaining to Iran's nuclear program have merely been deferred for 60 days. Now, I think we can all agree that if the most important issue in a conflict has been postponed for future negotiations, that is not a peace deal at all. At best, it's a temporary ceasefire. It's a pause. It's a détente. And I remain profoundly skeptical that those negotiations will ultimately succeed. For years, I've argued that the current Iranian regime views the ability to obtain, or the threat to obtain, a nuclear weapon as an existential matter. This is something I even studied when I worked for the Defense Threat Reduction Agency. Iran's pursuit of a nuclear weapon is the single greatest source of leverage that the Iranian regime possesses in all international negotiations. There is simply no reason to believe that the Iranian regime is going to give up its strongest bargaining chip in international discourse. So I don't think there's any room to celebrate this announcement as a major diplomatic achievement. In fact, I even disagree with President Obama, whom I respect profoundly, when he suggested that this arrangement may be no better or worse than the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action that he negotiated some years ago. And the reason is straightforward. The Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action that Obama negotiated was an actual agreement that was public, committed to paper, and instituted with safeguards in place. This isn't. Now, I can't say with any certainty that no agreement in principle exists behind closed doors between the Trump administration and Iran, but based on the information available today, the far more likely explanation is that this announcement is just another attempt to create the appearance of resolution and paper over the fact that Trump drew the United States into a conflict that still lacks any clear path to a lasting settlement. We will certainly be addressing this issue in the future. Please stick around for those conversations. And if there are any facts that I might be missing here, please drop them in the comments, because it's important for all of us to get this right.